experience, I think fucking Anders is having his.
Dearie me. It's
Never
going.
mind.
I've pressed the button and I'm waiting. Here we go. It appears to be on. Get ready. Brace yourselves, gentlemen. Welcome. Good evening. The 3rd of the 3rd, 24. And we are live. I present us four. Sunday Licks. Over to you, gentlemen. I'll start sharing in the domains and you can introduce and etc.
Hurrah. Good evening. How are we all? Good to see you. It's been a while. Been hiding away. Hope everybody's well. Oh, I'm just signing in to just try to get into the stream.
Very good. Anders, do you want to
Yes.
announce your...
Yeah. I want to say welcome to everybody, and I hope you like our new video format where we show all four participants at the same time here, you know.
Oh, Anders, I'll change it in a minute. Give me a second. All right. Oh, this is it. Yeah, it definitely is. It's your time to shine, and you are shining.
Yeah, but if you're speaking, then you should be identified then as speaking and come up, no?
We're doing it now. It's going on speaker mode, all right? There, I've done it. Now stop crying. Get on with it.
Oh. Seems like your dad's a bit of a technophobe.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I've done that. I've put it on the .com. It's gone on Tube, Telegram, and then we're ready to roll. What we're talking about? What's the first topic? I've got one, but I just mentioned it and said that perhaps we should ask the room's opinion, but we might want to wait till it's a bit busier. But yeah, what do you want to pick for the first topic? Third cast. Let everyone know you've been on 3 times already. Third one. We might be a bit frayed.
Yeah, we've already done that 6 hours in total over those two.
4 of them was with Ken. Yeah, we had a private chat on Friday in the private Telegram group exclusive for those that are with us on splspro.com. And we had a public chat Saturday in our public Telegram group, and those with us on Facebook in the public group trust there. And then we thought we'd come and see you on Tube so you didn't feel left out on Sunday. Yeah, we had a private chat Friday in the private Telegram group exclusive for those with us on splspro.com. Echo.
What is happening here?
Our public Telegram group. Is that you, Kevin?
I don't think so.
No.
No, I think it's
me.
Moscow.
Yeah, we can talk about Albert then. How are you, Albert?
They put me right on the spot, yeah. I'm all right. Sorry for disrupting everything, yeah.
Just the
I
eyes.
just looked onto the YouTube thing, so that's why it went off in the background. I didn't realise it didn't mute up. Yeah.
Schoolboy error. We call that a schoolboy error, Bert.
All right. I'll take that on the chin. Yeah. Schoolboy. Evening all. Yeah.
How's the chat room? Bosh. Leighton, greetings. Rebel Gran. Good day from Ontario, Canada. Rebel Gran. The force is strong with the Rebel Gran. RG for short to the Alliance. That's just inspiring, isn't it? It's nearly as inspiring, or on the same level of inspiration as when Ken, a new scribe that come to see us after watching the video on Richard Vobes, revealed that he was 72, and he actually started investigating. When we asked him the questions to introduce himself, give us a bit of background, etc., he said, yeah, about beginning of COVID issues, that I was about 68. I started looking into things, and here I am. So, Rebel Gran, we're honoured.
Yes, thank you for your presence. We appreciate it. We like a bit of rebellion.
Yeah. Right, so I've Telegram. I got distracted. I couldn't find our own groups. Yeah. Right, said Fred.
Have you shared it in Facebook?
Yeah, I've done that. I've done it all now. Okay,
All right, mate.
good to go. We're good to go, my man.
Okay.
Has anyone got a topic? Yeah, you're all very quiet tonight. I don't want to babble on as always. I'm giving you a chance. I'm giving you a chance.
Well, we've covered quite a lot over the last 6 hours. We've done this weekend. I haven't got anything in particular to discuss, to be honest.
We'll give the room the option to ask questions, present a topic, anything you would like further information on. We're not going to give
Dave,
you advice, but we'll try.
Dave, did you see Rebel Grand's the same age as Ken?
No way. 72.
Yeah,
Go
yeah,
on, man.
just put it. Yeah, fair play.
Old is gold. That's what we say. Old is gold.
7 and 2's 9. So that's part of Tesla's stuff, isn't it? 369. There you go. So that's it. That's what 72's about. I've worked it out. I know what the universe means.
Oh, the answer to the meaning of life itself is not 1964, 1970. What was it? Yeah, that one.
42.
Oh, dearie me. There's so much we could talk about. I could go formal. We could go updates with regards to technical things, but yeah, we'll leave that for a little bit. We'll savour that. Shout out to all those doing the good work is all I can say. We've seen that there's been a big influx within our various domains after we've been on Richard Vobes. Been a lot of positive content. I will reiterate that I do not like to give much away in the public these days for the reasons aforementioned. I'd had about 2 hours sleep the night before of the interview with Richard. It had been planned for about 6 weeks, and I'd jacked in the job that I previously had, and things weren't as tickety-boo, as smooth as they could be. So I was a little bit, what's the word I would use there, away on vacation, not very focused, distracted, not as well prepared as I could have been. But on the whole, the feedback was good. We had a laugh. We would like to talk to Richard again. We'd like to use his knowledge base and his ability, the guest that he's had, to possibly, move forward with our proposal of a round table. So there's a lot of potential there. Some of his guests, are as well intentioned as what we are, but they are lacking as much as we are, similarly in various areas where they could be a bit stronger. So we're not here to debunk anybody or to have a nasty dig, but there are errors, omissions, things that have been mentioned, terminologies, words. Somebody asked a question in the Telegram group about, here we go, this is one that I said we'd talk about on last night's show in the public, but I forgot, but now it's just come back to mind. But there's a new group being posted, where, and I'll get it for you, and we were saying that it could be a psyop. Can you remember the name of that group, anybody? It was about not paying council tax, and they were proposing that new individual trusts would be created, and then that's the way they would do it. But they said, on behalf of the people, we claim on behalf of the people, they're starting a movement on behalf of all of the people, and they are proposing that people don't pay council tax, and that they will instead have individual private trusts. And I am paraphrasing, I'm finding it now, bear with me, I'm scrolling, but I did say that we can all express our correct titles and relationships with the government ministers and dissolve the implied public trust and the misconstrued relationships therein. We can obtain alternative provisions and equitable relief. So you are all invited to do that with us later this year. Okay, let that be said first of all. Individual private trusts, Here we go. So it reads, we the British public hereby announce that due to the UK government's violation of international and domestic law in the committing of genocide and complicity to genocide under Article 3 of the Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide and contrary to the International Criminal Court Act 2001, Section 51 and Section 52, we will not be allocating our income taxes and national insurance contributions to HMRC as an arm of and funder of the UK government until the UK government desists its illegal and unlawful actions. As British taxpayers, so that's a terminology I would draw a line under. The International Criminal Court, are you a British taxpayer? Are you something? We'll get into that later. Under the International Criminal Court Act 2001, Section 52, we are liable to face prosecution and imprisonment under Section 53 of the Act should we continue to knowingly fund the UK government's acts of genocide as defined by the Act. We, the population of Britain, propose to allocate our income and national insurance contributions, now listen up, open ears, liabilities into individual trusts. The funds in these trusts will be transferred to HMRC on the conditions of the above, once HMRC confirms as true. To close down, the UK government has desisted all illegal and unlawful actions as above, namely all acts of genocide, genocidal acts complicitly in genocide and war crimes as above and contrary to the International Criminal Court Act 2001. And then there's demandchange.co.uk and a letter to HMRC with the illegality of paying tax when committing genocide. So to finish, I agree with what they've said. We've said this, lots have said this for the last 10 years about the hedge funds investments. There was a news article, a report, a story, a covering of the government's investments with UK taxpayers' money into a hedge funds that was containing alleged investment into something like scatter bombs or white phosphorus scatter bombs that are in the Geneva Code. They're not, certain weapons are outlawed to be used in war because they're just horrific, and apparently those were being funded and used in another country what could escape the ruling of international criminal and Geneva codes, etc. So we posted that, we're aware of that, but the bit that says about for the remedy, the British taxpayers, are going to require individual trust funds. Well, we have them, the government have them. We can look at getting access to them in the form of alternative provisions and equitable relief for capital gains made for the UK government on behalf of our person, our estate, etc. So there would be no need to create if we have options to claim. I'm going to yield and let the boys contribute. Over to you. Don't all shout at once.
I don't think I have much to put into that.
No, neither me, Anders. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, a lot of stuff spoken about and whatever, but yeah, some of it makes some sense, but in essence, yeah, they haven't really thought about it. So
it's not a bad little notion, but this is what I'm saying. If one, if there are other groups out there with energy and time and resources, and they wish to do well, then why can't we join up and consider utilising and joining up our resources and time and knowledge, and we'll get a
but even that, it causes complications, doesn't it? If you're going to withhold under that certain movement, what they're talking about, why can't you withhold your own cash?
Yeah, individually.
We'll have to set up the trust and whatever and all that and just complicate things. You just go under that, and you're not participating, and that's it, yeah? So you're withholding until they make their changes and come compliant, yeah?
Yeah, it's a bit similar to putting the account into serious dispute, isn't it? We're not saying you can't have it, but until you've sorted out X, Y, Z, then you can have it. It's simple.
Yeah, morally, ethically, principally, it's right what they're saying. So we all have the right to do that in an individual basis. There doesn't need to be a claim by And I'm not with SPOs, Indiglo, Kevin, Anders, David are not promoting or affiliated with demandchange.co.uk. We're exploring the when one of the beneficiaries of the group there asked if why would it be suspicious? Why do you think it's suspicious, David? Why do you think we need to investigate this further and do some digging? And my answer was, I'll tell you later, because like it started off, we the British public. Well, the public have the lowest title rights, the general public, the infants of the militia, the military, so the infantry. You would want to be settlor, sole beneficiary. You can be executive in office. You can be a lot more powerful positions from public one that's put there. But on the face of it, yeah, I get what they're saying, and it is democratic. It is constitutional. It is within the, Blackstone's commentaries, the great jurists that say if there is a rule or a law that is unjust, you have the right, you have the duty to disobey it and make things right. I'm paraphrasing again. Go find Blackstone's quotes on the integrity of law and such things as commentaries on. So lastly, before I forget, I found out through a friend who asked me, Dave, if I become a minister of my own faith, can I get away with paying taxes? I went, what? Let's say that again slowly. If I become a minister of my own faith, can I get away with paying taxes? I went, well, nobody can get away with it, but you can circumnavigate, you can avoid, yeah, and you can, what's the other one? Tax avoidance and tax exemption, is it? You can be exempt or you can avoid tax evasion, tax avoidance. Yeah, there's avoidance and evasion to look at principally, number one. And number two, I said, I know somebody that calls themselves Emoven, and a lot of them do, and they've all joined their clan. And I said, I think that's what they're on with. I said, so that's why they are the way that they are with their kindness credits and Emovens and national private public trust. It's all getting messy, but it does make sense now that somebody might have had the grand, because obviously I'd say this idea stems back to the Christian and the Catholic, the churches and charities, but the Catholic Church being the biggest corporation on earth that doesn't pay any tax. And as it is the instigator, creator of its own Judeo-type, Christian faith, Catholic faith there, and there's all them denominations of faith, then it is its own faith in a way, isn't it? After the reenactment, the writings after the, well, you say that, the Greeks, and then you had the Romans invade after the Greeks, and then you've got the Byzantine on top of the Romans, and then you've got the Ottoman on top of that, and in that mixture of, and even Egypt and Alexandria with Greece and Romans, and then the Byzantium, and then the Ottomans, all of that carnage there. Wow, yeah. There was a lot of confusion and rewriting, and there were secrets in the interesting parts of history that have now been deleted. I'd like to go back to that time and be able to creep around, but kind of digressed. Cause for concern, language used, types of language, and there are ways of lawfully objecting, and of us all getting together. If it is democracy in action, then can't demandchange.uk, can't we have some kind of more democratic, open, flexible avenue for remedy, rather than them popping up, whoever they may be funded by? Go and research them, and as we are going to be doing, and as we are termed in it as British taxpayers, I suppose to comply with International Criminal Court regulations, where I mentioned there was Section 52 and Section 53, remedy for withholding of payment of council tax under ethical, moral, and such terrorist type concerns of the credits, not money, that we are investing to the government for council tax charges. Is being invested unconscionably, so therefore you would need to reference yourself, I suppose, if you think about it, as a British taxpayer, to conform with the International Criminal Court sections and rulings and the verbiage and vocabulary that is used. So I would then put my person in play, because the charges aren't to me, they're to my person, Mr. David, to your person, Mr. Ms, Mrs, whatever given name. So you would then say your person would be able to facilitate the administration administration of the discharging of charges by your estate on behalf of your person, due to the fact that as the executive in office could act for remedy straight off the top of your bonds. We can't conscionably commit to this servicing of said charges and effecting of payments. What alternatives do you suggest? I leave it with you. There's a little off the cuff remedy. I yield.
Yes, I'm reading here in the comments. Andy, he is asking, if we are all souls, are we all spirits also? And as the nature of my humor is, I was answering Andy, soul spirits, SOLE. So yeah. So there is then he answered, a soul or a spirit can't sign paper. And I believe that's true, because that has to be a living person.
Well, I wouldn't go into that aspect. I'd go into the fact that we have a will and free will, as it is written and as it is referenced when we look at last will and testament, the will of the people. There is a will. There must be a will for manifestation. In the beginning there was and it is written obviously in Genesis, as you see. In other philosophies it is written quite differently there, but souls and spirits, I would say drop everything, get your pen, make a note of these names. Rudolf Steiner, not necessarily in order of particular interest, okay, but Rudolf Steiner, and then you want a man called Alan Watt, and you need to reference him, and then you need a guy called Neville Goddard. These are audio files on YouTube and publications and books and commentaries written by them. Then you want somebody called Madame Helena Blavatsky. Then you want H.P. Lovecraft. Then you want somebody like Aleister Crowley. And then lastly but not least, you would want Manly P. Hall. And when you talk to me, then come back and ask the questions, and we'll talk about. Then on top of that, cross-reference, because they're heavily influenced by Egyptian Book of the Dead type mythology. What's the green guy of the god of the underworld called now? Him. Too many. See, I'm tired. It's been a long week. Forgive us. But not Osiris, Isis, or something like that. Yeah, green, death. And then look at the Indian ancient scriptures from Sanskrit, 6000 BC, where they talk about the Kundalini, the spirit, the soul, the consciousness. You Anders can't tell me, I can't tell Anders, nobody can tell. We can point you in the right direction, as I have just done, and you can stand on the shoulders of giants and work through that literature. You can know that I've scanned some of that literature. I have hard copies and publications of all of those authors, and it's just incredible. Somebody's seen it as well. Somebody's seen it's rather interesting, but I'm not going to get into that, Alfred. I'll get that later, but it's for you to decide yourself. You know, it's objective, isn't it? So I can tell you how I see myself as Genesis legally. If you was explaining it legally to the establishment, you could say Genesis 2:7 living soul. If you was explaining it privately, like we are doing now on a public cast, but privately because I'm talking about me, not my person, so I would say that I am in a soul and a consciousness, and I have a spirit. So let's say when a human passes, a being passes away, allegedly there is a spirit that goes, a ghost, the Holy Ghost. Yeah, remember the ghost? So the spirit, the ghost, when we passed, allegedly we give up the ghost. So the ghost, is that the soul, the spirit, the consciousness? Is that something separate? It's down to interpretation, and yeah, we've looked at that. We philosophize on it daily, you know, like the works of Callum, what's he called now? Curtis Callenbach. We spoke to him collectively, privately, 4 years ago or so, and we talked about the Crow 777 program and his information. We presented our information, and he didn't go down well. It was his way or no way. And I gave him our works and publications, and wanted to further extend branches, but that was interesting, the zygote, and the Eastern philosophy. the zygote, the egg meeting the sperm and conception and being your date of birth being at that point, not date of birth, but your date of conception, the date of immaculate fertilization, the divine spark, etc. I'm paraphrasing, but that is more, rather than when you come, mum gives you access to this realm, female ejaculation, end of termination of pregnancy, being born, coming down the birthing canal. That's normally the live date. The certificate of live birth paperwork is done. Registration is done later on after, which is the birth certificate. So again, we looked at all of that, and for the spiritual side of it, it is dark and macabre. Language used, the way that they have products of conception, and the way that the Western terminology refer to life in general, and the legal medical constitution, vernacular language that is used. So privately, you're an authentic being. I'm an authentic being. Terence McKenna, authentic being, and I don't know. How would you put it? Let's read. I would be interested to hear. Kevin, Albert, how do you describe yourselves? It's a good topic, good point there.
I always go for living soul. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't sign anything as a living soul. You are signing as a living person or a living man, don't you?
Yeah, because we have bonds, and our bonds are with our word. So we give our word. I give you my word, a gentleman's word in principle, in culture, in the lexicon, in the monologue of life, in these land masses and around the world. Is a lot to be said for a verbal agreement, a verbal contract, yeah, but the legal side comes into it. But let's keep it private. If I give you my word, Kevin, and as we all make an agreement, we'll do 3 shows across 3 days and have a sovereign triathlon of events. We agreed to that. We kept it to our word, and we've all done 3 shows together. That was a trust, that was an agreement, that was a contract, but that was all in the private, between us, with no judge and solicitor, so it's at law. So we use different forms for authority, for authorship. We don't have the boats as such, but for contractual obligations, it's word of mouth. It's your word is your bond. Bonds come in different forms, which is why, again, we say about the language, paper bonds, financial paper bonds. You glue something together, you bond it, it's bonded, it's glued, it's together, it's stuck. Yeah, and then we've got the bond of man, but mum, baby, bonding. So it's again, madness. We need to fix it, but our word is our bond. It's our one true currency, trust, as we've said. So that brings us to trust. We have to trust, we have to rely, we have to count, and those are qualities that are all endearing to any civilization. To be fair, we've lost those for most. So again, payment, value, trust, currency, worth is in this day 2024 is fastly changing from paper, bank, reserve, notes, gold, bullion, platinum, precious metals. We're seeing that out there in this day and age. Friends count, who you know counts, networking counts, alternative medical. When you can't, in the days where you can't get a dentist, you're on a 4-year waiting queue for the hospital. You're paying taxes left, right, and centre. The roads are falling apart. The schools are falling apart. It pays for us to have this community network support, alternative, decentralised network, of help for various areas of our lives concerned as well. For the health reasons, people are pulling their own teeth out. They can't get a dentist. We are discussing alternative. Was it not the King, Kevin? Was there not a public announcement, did you mention on one of the chats, about somebody taking alternative treatment for his disease?
Yeah.
Here we go.
It was announced that I think from the palace, well, pretty certain from the palace, and it said he doesn't believe in chemotherapy and he's seeking alternative treatments. And that's your king right there. Very interesting.
I believe that he's been promoting alternative medicine quite a long time. I think that was up. Yeah.
like the whole Duchy of Cornwall thing, where he does all the different projects, growing and producing organic food. He laughed to himself, but yeah, I mean, he's been a bit sort of toppy lefty for a long time.
Yeah, here in Sweden, we used to say champagne socialists.
Yeah, disgusting fuckers is what I call them. Parasites upon the people.
Yeah.
Equity, that's Majestic 12, bang on. Looks like an agent with a name like that. I must say, I've watched Above Majestic and I know about Majestic, and I don't mean to insult you, but with a name, with a handle and a screen name such as that, you just arouse my suspicion. But continuing on, very good comments. Top of the class marks there. You are speaking of truth. I understand that those who want equity must do equity. This is simply summed up as my word is my bond and honour. I will take up my responsibility, duty, and obligations and walk the talk. Beautiful. So, again, those aren't our principles, but on the whole, universally, it works for everyone. The teachings of the great scriptures, the world's greatest story, if we followed that, if we was able to govern ourselves independently, well, with good conscionable behaviour, so sovereign conduct, but I left sovereign till last. You wouldn't need the regulations and laws. You sovereigns think you don't have to follow the law. Well, actually, if you conduct yourself in the correct manner, as we said the other day, then that becomes immaterial. So it's a catch-22, and you have the right to self-determination, as we've said before. You have, look up the cardinal right to self-determination, the right to the cardinal. You see, you have cardinal points on a compass, you have cardinal points on the earth, you have cardinal, it just warps, but now it's all falling into place that the cardinal points you in the right direction. So your cardinal right is to point you in the right direction, and your cardinal right of self-determination, whether you be atheist, Hindu, Muslim, Buddhist, whatever, in the legal system you're interfacing with, they recognise you as an artificial person because you haven't corrected anything. So the ominous is on you to use the regulations and gateways for your artificial person. Look at, when you're looking for witnesses, look at the Ratification of Faith Act, and there's more than one, when we see the Father, the Son and the Holy Spirit. So if you're struggling for witnesses ever, yeah, you've got three right there: the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, the Trinity, as witnessed by, yeah, this day in front of, because it's a Christian nation with an ancient Roman Catholic law system, it works beautifully. You don't have to honour it, respect it, or even use it, but you should know that there are keys and gateways and pathways, Masonic keys, as it's called, for the path out. So you don't have to think you're, as it says in Genesis 2:7, an actual living soul, because I don't think I am a living soul at all. But for the sake of remedy, if that's what works, you say, actually, I'm not a freeman on the land at all. No, I'm not a sovereign citizen. I'm not a natural person. I'm not an artificial person. Yes, I'm none of that. I'm actually just David, a living soul. Check your Genesis 2:7 in your KJV. That's who I am, right here, there, the sole beneficiary of the estate of. If you've got any evidence as to any other reason as to who I might be, Mr. Jeremita, well, yes, we are a party, and it goes on from there in the trust format as such. So, you know, it's how we now use the verbiage to, you know, and now what we put on the paperwork. It's not necessarily that we are paying homage to it, giving it respect. We are telling you and showing you that there is an orchestrated, narrow pathway for those to walk out of the shadow of the valley of death, and the Great Reset, etc., and Nasara Jasara that will come and save you in about 50 years if you're lucky. so it's for that reason that we quote and use and reference chapter, verse. We show you how the London Templars law system orchestrates, gets its authority from, why it has those principles and procedures, the CPR, the process, the witness format, the discovery, the disclosure, the pre-action protocols, the duties, the obligations, you know what I mean? So that's where we step into.
As well.
Go, Kev.
Sorry, I was actually speaking to one of the dogs, and then I realised I'd put the mic back on.
So, moving on, Room, number one question before we move on, and those that are watching the replay, in the comments, please. We would like to know your opinion of Michael Obenisia's claims and works up to press. Okay? So we've got to be careful how we word this and what we say.
Can I start?
And Kevin's going to start. Kevin, would you like to kick it off? Room, we need your honest and first thoughts of Michael Obenisia, the Great British Mortgage swindle that he did recently. Yeah, we'd like that feedback. Anybody involved in it, and any of his previous projects as an entertainer, comedian, playwright, trust fund man, type, whoever he is. Go on, Kevin, I yield.
Well, I've sort of I'm not going to say following, but for some years, you know, we've all known about his claims, etc., and all quite intrigued and have read it all and everything. But over the years, I've sat in the groups, mostly just watching what's going on. Every time somebody asked him, this is just about the mortgage stuff, for proof of claim, and very politely, you know, because he's saying X, Y, Z, and I've done this and I've done that. And with my own eyes, I've seen every time somebody asks for proof of claim, they get blocked from the group. Now, why would you do that? And if you were under, let's say he has done what he's done, and he was under an NDA, then why would he not just say, I can't, I'm under an NDA? So that all seems like nonsense to me. There's no proof of any of his claims. Then we went on to the Matt Hancock, going to get them all arrested stuff. And the first thing that made me laugh, because all he was going on about was bringing a private prosecution to Matt Hancock and was it Chris Whitty and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, and then he kept putting up updates. The next update was, you know, we've put the paperwork in. And then, as is Benicia's style, it says, oh no, now all the paperwork went missing. Yeah, of course it did. Anyway, you know, this nonsense. And then the next post was, oh right, we've just asked for permission to basically bring this case against Hancock. Well, you don't need permission if it's a private prosecution. So a lot of the stuff he does, there's just so many massive holes in it. And there's no proof of anything. Now he's going on about the farmers thing. The other day I got an email, because I'm signed up to his email letter thing. That arrived, and it started off with, when I invented the notice of conditional acceptance. What? He claims he invented that. This guy is full of shit, and his profile's changed. You know, at one point it was just about, you know, recalcitrant, bit of a rebel and that, and then months later it changed to playwright, comedian, BBC something. And all, hang on a minute, where did all this come from? But it's the comedy thing that he's been pushing. I've only watched like a little snippet of one night, and just his delivery. I mean, Christ, I'm surprised anybody was still awake in there. But I couldn't resist on his adverts for this. Oh, we're doing another comedy night. So I couldn't resist it, because I'm a bit of a wanker like that. And I went in and I made a comment. I said, Mike Lebanisia, are you telling the one about the Great British Mortgage swindle? Fucking hilarious, mate. I went, and then, yeah, no response or nothing. But just, he's a wrong un. I'm telling you now, this is all. And then we all know he's a trust fund baby. right? He's not short of money. Oh, could you all help me fund this, that, and the other? This is the latest thing. And then he got some funding for something else, didn't he? Wasn't that the prosecutions? Nobody knows where that money went. There was quite a few quid appeared as well, allegedly. So at first I thought, I was quite impressed with the story. I've also had interactions with Michael O'Deara over when we were challenging Graham's mortgage. And when you look into all that stuff, you come across a lot of the same info. And there was one bit, and it was Pacific something, right? And so if you've looked into the mortgage things, you would have come across this name. When I'm speaking to O'Deara, I said, "You got anything on this? This is the case they're quoting, blah, blah, blah." Nothing. And I thought, well, how can you be claiming to have done what you've done and not come across this? This is one of the bits that they actually use as well. So it just stinks to me. I have no faith or belief in him. I've seen no proof of any of his claims. It is always, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and all the people, oh yeah, oh you're so good, but nothing ever happens, ever. Nothing goes anywhere.
Michael was wait. I can't believe what I'm reading. Michael was then a founding member of Screaming Skull Theatre Company. Skull and Bones, Skull, Black, 666. So my eyes, my ears, my emotions, I had to interrupt because Michael was then a founding member of Screaming Skull Theatre Company. This is the mini bio on IMDb for Michael O'Byrne-Sia that I've posted the link in for. The actor, Michael.
There you go.
The comedian. The comedian, Michael.
Comedian?
Yep.
Oh, Jesus, well, he owned his own kitchen.
I'll have
to. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear.
No, carry on. It's sometimes needed.
Unbelievable. So what amazes me, this is the way I look at it, you still see he's got like this hardcore of followers, that seem to stick, even though he never gets any results, they seem to stick with him. And I think I put a comment in another one, you've got your hardcore followers. How does it make you feel that they're all morons? They can't be morons because they're not grasping that you're full of shit, and it's so obvious. But there you go. Yeah, he hasn't responded ever to me. Don't blame him. I've torn him off a new one. But as I say, initially you read it all and it sounds great and impressive, and fair play to the mate. But he claims he made case law. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. So again, it's just bullshit. If you made the case law, give us the number and I'll go and have a look at it. Blank. So
I think that we have to be really careful with these comedian actors. I mean, it is like you only have to look at Ukraine with that leader there that started his career as a comedian actor, doing a TV series about an ordinary man going to be the president of Ukraine. And so it just happened, So we have to be very careful with these people.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and look what's going on there, and they're shoving all the money that's gone in there. He's there for that reason. We all know it's all planned. They put the bloody, what do they call it? It's this reality TV star in charge. It's just so blatant and outrageous. It's sickening, really. But we all see it differently to the masses.
Right, so then let's now we've done that. Sorry, but control time, and I'm fading. I'm really struggling today. I'm sorry. Let's say that one of the latest video releases of content from Richard Vobes contains Michael O'Byrne-Sia, and it's on a topic to do with farmers and how they should. I don't know. I haven't watched it. So who's watched that video? And have we got any way of finding out?
Graham said he's watched it. I was speaking to him the other day, but yeah, he didn't. He wasn't very impressed with it. Was what I sort of got out of Graham, but I couldn't give you any more info than that. I wouldn't waste my time with stuff he's putting out because I know he's full of shit. So why am I going to go and waste an hour listening to that prick?
Yeah, I get that, and I'm with you. Sustained. So, has anybody, while I'm just asking the chat room, has anybody watched Richard Vogue's latest content containing Michael O'Byrne-Sear and the talk of farmers? Because if Michael has been asked for proof of claim for everything that he's put into the public domain through his own free will, we haven't got that proof of claim. We haven't heard anyone's success with the Great British Mortgage Swindle. We've only heard negative comments. We've only heard negative feedback. We've only been blocked and ignored. I told you all about Tobley and Michael O'Deara coming up to me when I met Serge at the Great British Mortgage Swindle and the friction that was caused there. And yeah, I'll leave it there. It's in the past. But interestingly enough, there's other claims and occurrences happened with this man, and there has been little said. We would like just to bring to the attention of that we think that any claims he does make should be proven, evidences should be given before. I would like to see the excerpt or the origin of that claim where the conditional acceptance was created by him. I do believe, if I'm remembering correctly, so that's a slim 10% chance then, at this state, it was Lord Wolfe's reforms of the civil procedure rules of 1990 era what then maybe would have I think this may have come in, or it could even have been in place in the practice directions for hundreds of years. But the conditional acceptance it would make sense that it's a hundreds of years old position at play for those that know of it, because we didn't always, it's not something that's given out in the public because we used to either accept charges or argue them. It wasn't until moderately recently that we've become a formidable force to be reckoned with the conditional acceptance pending on, so it keeps you in clean hands and in honour. With the discovery of equity, a trust law, the propositions of equity, we found out about these extra areas of play within the common law system in Wales. And there wasn't given to us by a group or anything. There was found in the practice direction. So we can 100% say. Check it. Yeah, I'll check it and see. I'll check that conditional acceptance. When anybody ever makes a claim, ask them for proof of it. No proof, no claim. You know how it goes. It's as easy as that, isn't it? Lord Wolf.
I was watching the program, but I can't say so much about it. But what I want to say is that I see some people, they are judging Richard because of the people he is bringing up to this show here. And I don't think there is anything to judge Richard for, because he is actually letting everybody coming up. Then he let us make up our own decision about it. So I think he is really good, Richard, actually.
I think you're right. I think what he's done is, picked from every area, all different ideas, and that's what it should be. Everybody should be able to put out their stuff, and then you can pick and choose or select what you know to be worthwhile and keep hold of that. But no, I think the way he's gone about it, because he's not, he's open to everything, which is a good way to be, really, because he's just saying, come on, put your info out. He's not pushing it or agreeing with it or not agreeing with it, or, he's saying, let's have a look at your angle, and that's a good way to be. And I think he's pretty much neutral. I mean, obviously, he's like the rest of us. We know all the government's up to no good and all the COVID, blah, blah, blah. But that's sort of a general consensus of those of us that have brains. But no, I think it's quite good. As I say, it's not like he's just putting on stuff he sort of goes for. He's covering everything, and course, there's going to be people saying bad shit. People always say bad shit. You know, oh, he's a wrong un. You just see it all the time. But what I do is I put stuff up, and I've had people say, oh, he's a chill and all that, or this, or he's part of this, or he's part of that, or it's just like I don't care who's saying it particularly. If what they're saying is factual and true, that's all I'm interested in is the message, not who's putting it across. And if you can verify their message and you know they're not talking bullshit, what's the problem? You know, it's a bit like Richard, you've got to get your info from as many different sources and then come up with your own conclusion.
Well, he's changing tack soon, isn't he? That's what he put out. He's going to slow down on doing the interviews.
Yeah, I think he was aiming at, now he's gone through a lot of. See, I can sort of see what he's doing. He's structured
He was promoting his community trust. One of the scribes has said there. Thank you, Alex Anders. Hey, Anders too.
Universal Community Trust. Yeah, so you need to call it the national one, and then at least it makes an anagram of cunt.
No, they're useful though. He isn't.
Well, there could be different genres of cunt.
Good evening to Ken. Ken's found us. Well, a legend. He's done 3 sessions with us as well now. Well done, Ken. He's in the Sovereign Triathlon of Chat for the 1st, 2nd and 3rd days of March. We've started as we mean to go on. We're here we are a formidable force to be reckoned with.
Oh yeah, there he is.
Right.
Wonder if he's Lisa Stanfield's dad.
Oh, that was tedious, Kevin. That was worse than the other one that we won't speak of. Right.
Yeah, you'll all be telling it at work tomorrow. I know, stealing my material.
Question. We're getting serious again now. Oh, ears up, eyes down. CPR 30. Well, where was I going here? I've put it on Speaker View, Anders, not gallery. All right, so it's showing me, but I'm not on. I don't know if it's working properly. It should be. Yeah, I'll keep an eye on it. Yeah, it is.
No problem. No problem. I have fixed my hair today, So.
Oh, you look handsome, mate.
Done.
Yeah.
I was
second semi you've given me in 2 days.
Oh God, I wish I'd have talked over that. Oh, wow, I let that in. I let that in. No, we didn't let that in.
Yeah, and you like letting it in.
Right, back to normal. Focus. Oh, I can't focus. So flaccid.
Focus.
Oh, right. I saw in the chat group on Telegram the other day, there's somebody I'm not going to mention. I'm not stealing their work, but I just thought I'd mention this because I was just like, wow, this is how much the game has changed in the last 10 years. How our art of how we converse, coming from me. Yeah, he's still struggling, Dave. I know. The art of how we converse. We see ourselves, the positions, the language, the titles. Here we go. This is what I saw. I was very impressed with it. And if you wrote it, if you are the on the ship of the authorship of this, you will know who you are. The admins know, but that's as far as it will go. It goes like this. Question. Hi all. Hoping somebody may be able to guide in the right direction. I need to force disclosure of a document from the director of a limited company via a local court. How would I do this? And then the answer that was given. Most excellent. CPR 31 disclosure. This isn't legal advice. Let's stop it, by the way. This is just me having a chat, as we know, yes. You need a solicitor for legal advice, but this is the answer that was given to that question to duly inform them. CPR 31 disclosure. Write a statement of truth. Affidavit. CPR 22. Serve it on the director with a service of document form N215. If you need to add anything to your disclosure, CPR 31, use CPR 18 and pre-action protocols under practice direction. Hope this helps. That's a paragraph of weaponry. That's it's just most excellent to see the intellect, the astuteness. They're listening, they're making notes, they're sharing it, they're working in groups, they're passing it on, they're becoming stronger. The game is changing. Just really good. That's all I'm going to say there. Comments, anyone?
No, you said it all. That's why we have you here.
We're all just chilling. It's just pre-recorded
We-
photos of
we
ourselves
just-
while we're off having a beer.
Nodding.
Kevin. We got to do that. It's AI. Even the sovereigns are AI.
They've been infiltrated.
Right, what was the next bit? The next bit, passing around. Not my work, but passing around. I grabbed it, I paused it, I pinned it, and here it is. Leighton versus Chief Constable, and it's South Yorkshire Police. So there's a PDF here that's in our groups. It's being passed around. You can find it in the public domain, and it reads as such. It's a little bit long, a couple of minutes, but it's worth it. Attached is a case law judgment to used against any roadside pirates attempting to unlawfully detain a driver under the Road Traffic Act. All too often, barristers who know these powers do not exist still use them to try to convince judges to rule in their favour, as the barrister acting for and on behalf of the police attempted to do so in this very case. So just in case the pink belt barrister attempts to say that because the judgment is in the count, not my words. I've lost my flow now, Pink Panther. So just in case the pink belt barrister attempts to say that because this judgment was in the county court, it is not binding, it is important to note why such a statement is not accurate. Her Honour Judge Belcher did not create new law. What she did do, however, was confirm that while Section 159 of the Road Traffic Act 1959 had been repealed by Section 163 of the Road Traffic Act 1988, the common law position, say that again slowly, the common law position has not changed. The common law position being that there are no powers under Section 163 of the Road Traffic Act 1988 to detain a driver. So that's when you're arrested, when you stop. When you are stopped, you are arrested. When your heart stops, what do they say? They say you've suffered a heart arrest. So arrested is not detained, it is stopped. Yeah, you've been arrested. May I continue on? Am I free to go? You've stopped and detained me. Are you detaining me, or am I free to go? You know, you're going to continue arresting me, and just that needs to be put into there as well. Yeah. So the common law position being that there are no powers under the Section 163 of the Road Traffic Act 1998 to detain a driver. So whilst the county court judgment is not binding, Her Honour Judge Belcher's ratio descendi rule of law is binding. So if you or somebody close to you has been detained under the Road Traffic Act, as unfortunately still frequently happens, indeed, this now suggests that the courts take the view that any barristers, lawyers, solicitors, etc., attempting to use so-called alleged detention powers under Section 163 of the Road Traffic Act 88 on behalf of the police as defence is so hopeless that it should be struck out and judgment awarded without even having to go to trial. This is case law which is invaluable. However, to close down, the author of this says, I feel it's important to mention that we all must read through these posts, in particular the attached PDF, and in particular this judgment to get a better comprehension of exactly what is said within. Too often, we take for granted what others say, hearsay, as truth, without checking and corroborating the facts for ourselves. End. Finn. Search Leighton versus Chief Constable, South Yorkshire. Where am I? Police. Yeah, it's Wayne Leighton. Her Honour Judge Belcher. I've got the PDF opened here, but I don't need to screen share. You can find it yourself, and then that's what it hinges upon there. Bosh. Have one of them. We love case law. for those reasons. Irrefutable. So that just happened to pop up as we was talking about County Courts Act, courts, CPR disclosure.
It's quite funny because a couple of years ago, then when we start to talk about case law, then somebody was naming it caseman law. And then suddenly these people, they become experts in trusts. And I really find it so funny, I find it so, but that can only be credit for SPLS Pro, that somebody can learn so much in half a year, so they can call themselves experts in trust.
I'm not an expert in a trust. I just know a little bit more than other people, to be fair. I would never say I'm an expert in all legal matters, as that other bloke did.
No.
That was it. You'll find in the comments of the video, comments of Richard Vobes and us, Stephen Bincham, McRae. Remember when Simon Docker Dawson made a video tube, and he came out and said he'd got access to his TDA account, but he made a fatal error when he did that. Revelation when he gave us that admission, because he was walking around Lidl in a Snickers workwear uniform. That doesn't really shout access to one's estate, untold credits. Well, not untold, but compared to what we're restricted to now with our slave wage, voluntary, slavery, that is. Yep. So we don't know what quite happened there, but we will find out in due course, I dare say. There's no grudges held against Stephen or Simon at all. But he came out and told us the way to remedy, and Simon came out and told us that he'd had remedy and that we should pay $5,000 and get remedy. Do you remember? Am I just talking to deaf ears, or did I dream this?
No, I remember something like that, yeah.
Who did we have on
Yeah.
that was slagging Steve off, and then Steve was in the chat room, and then Steve said, I want a link to come on. What was that? Do you remember? That was a good 4 years.
Wasn't that Andy?
What? Who was it? What
Yeah.
happened?
Wasn't it Andy? You,
Somebody said-
Andy.
Yeah. Go on. Somebody else.
I seem to remember, but I remember it happening. I thought that was Andy had a bit of a spat with him.
There was me, Andy. Gobsmack.
Oh, fucking hell, gobsmack.
Remember it? It was Gobsmack was there, wasn't it? What's his Irish name now? He's calling.
Lolleran something.
There
Yeah. Bran Lolleran.
He was saying that his mate had paid Steve, and Steve hadn't done what he's promised, and Steve was watching as that was going. We invited him on just to have his fare, because it's only fair when somebody's saying ill of somebody, and there's someone there that's been spoken of wants to have the
Oh, and he was on the whiskey, wasn't he? He was all pissed, and it went right off, didn't it? I remember now. That's it. I remember.
Yeah. Classic Indie Glow. Classic. It's on the channel still. I haven't deleted it. It's there somewhere. You have to scroll back 4 years.
Have any one of you met Gobsmack? Yes, you have, David.
Yeah, man.
You have met him, yeah, and I met him too, and
was
he
that,
was quite. It was. When was it, David? 2016 or 17?
Oh wow, probably 60. Hang on, let me think.
Oh, that was a while ago.
Yeah, you're right.
But
it's about.
He
60.
seems like but he seemed like a nice guy. You know everything. So I don't have any problem with him at all. But then he was doing some strange stuffs within Able Danger. There, he was turning coats and things. Then I was like, okay. That's it.
Well, that's what Andy got involved with him, didn't he? And all that lot. And then he was, I'm publishing a book. You see, that's one of the other things that amazed me about Andy. Any sniff of money, he was gone like a fucking whippet after it all, which just didn't seem right. And then ultimately, the shit they produced was literally had been cut and pasted. And Andy was making out he'd written this book, so I don't think they got weighed in. But I think they might have had an advance off of it. That's from what I could sort of gather. And yeah, totally took the piss. So, just really, true colours always come through in the end.
Yes,
I'm
but
gonna
I really
say.
have to say that Andy was the most honorable one of Gobsmack, and him big because Andy was actually, even if you say he was copying and pasting, he was doing that book ready. But then when he left it to Able Danger, then they said, no, we can't produce this. We can't make a book out of this because it's not complete, So he was coming back when there was shit talk that they was like stealing the money. Andy was actually coming back and he was talking for himself. So I admire him for that. So I can't say he was sneaking away and hiding. And
Yeah,
actually, I don't think it was right out of Able Danger either, because Field McConnell, he was saying that, okay, then you and Gobsmack, you can put together this book and will it be ready next week? So he gave them no time at all, So it was not an easy mission, this,
No,
So that's all I want to say about it. Yeah.
I say, listen, my personal experience, I admired Andy for a long time until sometime after David and Andy had their falling out, whatever you want to call it. And it was sometime later that it was disclosed to me what he was saying. And it was about me. It was I was a wrong un. And because, like, some of you know what my missus does. And I'd been open about that. And then out of nowhere, this man with clean hands and honour and nothing to hide wouldn't come to me and speak to me about and he obviously had a dark problem. But, and then what he didn't, as far as I can read into it, this is what happened. And Andy and Dave used to do the chats, and they're always a bit of a good laugh. And Andy was always, the good book and all that. I don't buy it anymore. I used to buy it with Andy, but I don't buy it anymore. And then Graham and I came along, and we went to Oxford, and David was dealing with a ill guy. And we sort of come along and said, look, this is what we've done. And so we brought something along, showed that it worked, we got Stan at the time, got him, he's just got his benefits forever. No, never assess him again or anything. We got round that. And then it was, and we wanted to release that through SPLs. It wasn't, we weren't holding it to ourselves, but we released our process through SPLs. And I honestly think that Andy was upset, jealous, whatever you want to call it, that we brought something real. And he didn't like it because the focus was going off of him, I assume, because I never did anything to the bloke. I never had a bad word to say about him. But if he, he professes clean hands in honour and like, yeah, but you didn't come to me, Andy, and tell me your concerns or talk to me about it, did you? No, it was all behind my back and having a row with David over it. So, his whole persona collapsed right there for me because it's like, well, no, all the things you claim to be, you're clearly not.
Yes, so, I don't have any problem that your wife is a judge. No problem at all.
Judge. Not quite that high up.
By
But,
the
you know,
way,
that,
when we are here now, I want to say, Lisa, I love you, and I'm always so happy when I see you coming on the show here. You're always welcome.
is that Mum?
Yeah, man.
Excellent. I've just put my tablet back on because I was outside, so I haven't even looked in the chat room. So there's a few in there. There's 18 in there. Nice. Thanks for
I'm still
joining
thinking,
us.
what other topics of discussion have we got? Points, questions, areas? I can't see the chat room yet either. I'll go in a minute.
No, I can't get the. Ah, there we go. It's here. Hello,
It's
Lee.
good stuff they're putting out.
Much love to you, darling. How's James doing? I know he wasn't particularly clever last time we spoke. I hope he's okay. Sending love to you both and your friends and family.
Sending warm wishes to the cold north, to Lisa and James. Yes, it's supposed
God,
to
proper tough people.
man, here it is. Being surrounded by daylight for 5 months, is it? 4 or 5 months of daylight, and then darkness and cold and bears and wolves and animals and oh man, yeah, proper hardcore.
I found it so funny that when she go out picking berries, then she carry Colt 45 for the bears and the wolves.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah, I know.
She's
It's just something else, isn't it? It's just amazing.
Other
that
handguns, other handguns are available.
are available.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Well, one for me, it's the cold. I don't particularly enjoy the cold. That cold where they are is a different level of cold. Now I'd break mentally, so I really admire that.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think that's
fascinated with their life. You know, elderly folk are still chopping trees and whatnot at 70,
Yeah.
75, 80. The air, the life, the water, the lifestyle itself, the lack of EMF,
I'd like
pollutants,
to
heavy
go.
metal. Yeah, man.
Love to go over and visit. I really would go somewhere like that.
Set up base with Lisa and James, and then we go to the Alaskan Triangle and we go and have a go live from the Alaskan Triangle. That'd be the next
that
one.
would be cool.
Yeah,
That
man.
would be cool.
Hey, there's some more people gone missing there than, and yeah, it's just crazy. The statistics and the stories. There's too many. Whole documentary series on it, the Alaskan Triangle.
I'll send James my kindest regards, and I know what it's like. Illness, it's terrible, physically and mentally. Mentally, sometimes worse than all the rest. But yes, keep pushing on, mate. That's all you can do. Come and listen to idiots like us, and you'll realise everything's a lot better. Lisa says, I'm just baking James some treats. She says, it's warmed up to 3 degrees today.
Oh, wow.
That's bikini weather up there. Oh, dear. Yeah, I would like.
Alaska. We're going up north.
We're going in the
up
summer,
north?
though, right? I've seen the videos, like moose walking through the back garden and that. Just incredible. Proper in the wilds. Yeah, I really admire the pair of them that doing that.
Anyone
Life's
that lives
hard
off grid,
enough.
I would respect to anybody that lives off grid, yeah.
I mean, life's hard enough. without adding all that on it, and just to put the icing, the crowning turd. Most of the time, we live under the snow and ice. Wow, incredible.
But in a log cabin, fire on, warm, all your mod cons, solar panels, everything like that, you know, heat, food, warmth. It's just that feeling of contentment that you've provided for yourself. You've done it yourself. No supermarkets,
Oh yeah,
government checks, no
I bet
no internet, no mobile phones and apps, just man and land. Bosh.
it's
Get in what
incredibly
you get out of
fulfilling,
it.
isn't it?
Yeah, you get out, your income is your food in this respect. Your provisions for the winter is your income, your input, your output, you know, etc. And that's real balance there. Yeah, if we all have the options for that. They give us a little allotment somewhere if you so want to grow a few. You know, it's not what it should be, but we have got some options still. Well, you can
Yeah,
still
they
buy
don't
seeds.
have. You see, when they get the season when they've got to make sure they've got all their provisions and stuff to get through the winter. I mean, you can't go, oh, I'm not going to do that today. No, it has to be done. You know, there's no room. We don't do this, don't get through the winter. It's really simple. And all the
Ticking clock
fishing,
of sunlight. Yeah.
down on and all that, and you see them doing all that. I mean, just fantastic. Yeah, but so much respect and awe from me. As I say, it's just like just incredible people living like that. Fair play to them. It's like Mark Twain was having a bit of a problem with connections, jumping in and out. Looks like he's sorted now. We hope. How you doing, mate? Leave my rights. Sheriffs. Oh yeah, Majestic's right. Oh look who's there. It's Tricky Bricky sloping about in the chat room. How are you, mate?
Yes. What?
Long time no see. I keep me ring you, but I have to be honest with you, it's all to do with my brain. Nothing to do with you. It's just I really need to speak to Steve. I've been telling him that every time I see him in the chat room. And then it's just never the right moment, or my brain's been fucked with me for ages, Steve. It's just being in the right, not mood, just I suppose it is mood, right mood. But good to see you, mate. Send love to D. Wagwan D.
Yes,
I'll explain it all when I will speak to you, Steve. It's not intentional. I'm just been a bit all over the place for a while, and yes.
Mark
So
Twain.
it's a cool name. Stephen has a cool name. Stephen Moore. It is like, and here comes Stephen Moore, not less.
No, I do not speak with Josh X, Mark. Those days have ended. Conflict of interest is all I'll say there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, no. I don't want to go into it anymore, but why did you ask that question? We can still entertain etymological topics, yeah, if I can say it. Remember, we've got keep your eyes open, notifications, etc. If you're new, subscribe, thumbs up under the video if you wouldn't mind. Share the content at your leisure. Enjoy the channel's content. Once again, thank you to the boys for making it 3 in a row. Bert, Anders, Kevin, in no particular order. You are legends, and I thank you for all that you do and for your time. This year we've got a lot to get through. I'm not going to speak about it all publicly, but we are going to seek remedy. We invite you all to join us. You know where to find us in the private. We're going to have a seminar in Wales between July and August. We'll confirm the date and advertise it well in advance. All are welcome for that. We might want to get across to Ireland if we can, get up to Scotland. Not all this year, but yeah, if you are elsewhere, we would like to go on tour. Towards the end of the year, we're going to look at the Anglican Cathedral in Liverpool, and if the Trust can hire that out, we shall do so and celebrate obtaining remedy and so forth. This will be a private ticket donation listed event, open to all, but controlled and monitored as it is. There will be a door policy, we'll say. It's not secret, it's just private. There's a big difference, so that'll be interesting. Why the Liverpool Anglican Cathedral, David? Just Liverpool, the General Registry Office, Sea Admiralty, the Anglican Church, sovereigns in an Anglican church talking about sovereignty, the 82nd Psalm, have I not said that ye are all gods? Feeding it back to them in some respect, teaching them their own game better than what they ever knew, with consideration, with patience, with politeness, with courtesy, with love, with honour. But the jig is up, and the codes are there for all to see. The writing is on the wall. The lines are rather blurry, but we will help you sharpen your focus with regards to that. So this year is set to be a massive year. We've been going on about this for a good 15-20 years, and we all know something's wrong. We all know there is a way out, and there should be provisions when we articulate it correctly, and we go in the way that we're going in. When I say that, we've listened to what people have said is remedy. We've looked at secure party creditor. We've looked at TDA accounts. We've looked at the sandwich 10 sandwich W whatever it is forms. We've looked at everything. We've looked at remedy. We've looked at law. We've looked at religion. We've looked at science. We've looked at language. You get it. I'm not going to list everything. We've had a good look. It's been 20 years. We've had enough. It's getting done. When we say we've looked at remedy, we've then stripped it back down. We've rebuilt it in our eyes, our vision, our logic, and then we stripped it back down and we rebuilt it again. And so it turns out we've got about 3 strong, valid avenues to seek remedy. All of us collectively. I mean, if one can seek remedy, all will be getting remedy, and the future will be outlined provisionally in legislation with the formation of a Sovereign Act. The Trust, are the ones to engineer and promote this remedy. So if any copycats do pop up mysteriously overnight claiming to have remedy, then we shall be watching for this. But what you need to know is you support us by joining the .com, 12 credits a year, and show allegiance to us. Consider executing a proclamation of evidence life and incarnation, expression, evidence of life, essence and incarnation will do. So you've got alternative evidence of a form of identity that's lawful, that's within our book of life. We have created a book of life where we have souls with us that are identified with a unique fingerprint, and they have proclaimed that they know they have a person and they're not a person. They will not transgress anymore. There shall be no more transgressions, and we shall get that formally recognised. And everybody that does so will be invited to join us on the shiny, brand new, sunny Sovereign Republic of New Britain. And I think that's enough really for this year. So we already have lived up to our expectations and kept our integrity by showing you the benefits of the private, equity, trust law, the civil procedure rules, common law in its full glory. We've exposed more truth for you, and it's for your consideration. So if you're ready and you've had enough, and you'd like to join us in for some or all of that, then what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Yes. You can find in the video links in our videos on this channel's previous video history, links to all of the domains. There is spellispro.com. It's got a Facebook link on there. Go and have a look at the home pages, see what you think. We've got from Facebook public, Telegram private, website private, YouTube public. and we have private chats, video chats that are unlisted and remain private. So we have the book. We're doing a publication this year, so that's the last bit. I knew there was something. It's going to be entitled "The Rising of Knowledge, which can no longer be suppressed," and it's going to be part of our volume encyclopedia canonization of literature to do with the sovereign ethics, morals, principles, philosophy of life that we are going to obviously encumber in our paperwork for a nation state, private, peaceful, full of beings, authentic, sovereign. We need to do lots of paperwork to formalise, and we invite you to help us do that as well. So it's not a dictatorship. We'll be doing this with ourselves in the private. This publication has got the relevant articulation for person and how you would reference yourself, use interface with the person as an agent in commerce. So when you've asked us your questions over the last 10 to 15 years, we've obviously made a mental note over time of what those questions are, because they are repeated and they stick with us, and so we know the top 10 questions that we get asked, and those will be incorporated into that volumization of small bite-sized publications from our trust. They'll be sold on Amazon to generate revenue for the trust, proper this time. There will be word salad, and it won't be grammatical correct. It will be sovereign speak lexicon. So you'll have to deal with that. I'll go easy on it. There will be a key, so that will help. There will be some fun with it. But you've asked us if there is a book on common law. What is the book I would read? Where do I go? What are the first steps? Learning about the straw man, date of birth, birth certificate, persons, liability, signatures, autographs, acceptances, staying in honour, trusts, expression of property, titles, rights, children, commerce, exchange, value, offers. So yeah, there's a lot that we recognise that we've given you, and we need to structure it, go back to basics, and that's coming along with what we are planning. But let's go to the private, get remedy, then continue on with. But there is works, the missing links, as you call them, that are being created now. So there's one more video that will be presented to you on etymology, on linguistic canonization of the syntax in grammar, frequency resolution, what do I call it, the flux fields of modality, quantum prayer, power of intent, law of attraction, all of that soul food that you love, and the word porn fans and the word salad and the science and the history and blood, gore, it's got everything. It really has. And it's the missing links towards language, the missing keys, the sonics, the phonics, the vibration, the alpha numerical relationships, the gematria and the relationships, the ancient tongue, Aramaic, Sanskrit, and the way that the alphabet and the numbers, when you work with the numbers and you work with the science and you work with like Fibonacci, Phi, Pythagoras, and flower of life, seed of life, mathematical connotations of such which are proven to be what? To be real, to be factual, to be solid, to be consistent. The frequency modulation in the early 20th century by an elect oligarch, was it Joseph John D. Rockefeller, somebody, was it the Rockefellers or Rothschilds that asked for the frequency of the Board of Classification of Music and the resolution?
Yeah, it was
4-2. This kind of talk, what we're talking about, why they did that, the impact of that frequency resolution, the fact that we are made and resonate and have a frequency like Gaia, the Earth, the Schumann resonance and harmony, and the importance of all of that, and the work of Nassim Haramein. If you don't know who he is, you need to bookmark that name, because that is a genius soul. Incredible Rodinian vortex, mathematics again, Tesla 369. You mentioned the importance of 9, 8, the Mobius loop, and 8 infinity. So yeah, that presentation, as you can see, I'm very excited, and it connects all of the individual presentations and contents and topics that we've talked about. And there was a lot. If you rewind just that little bit there and jot down the topics that I've just mentioned, yeah, and that's not all of them, it will interweave everything else that you've got, and it will start to bring the picture closer, and it will be factual, it will be referenceable, it will be repeatable, it will be academic, non-academic, scientific, mathematic, historically factual, culturally factual, Romans, Greeks, civilizations, Persians, Americans, England, yeah, everything. So I'm looking forward to that, and you will be grateful of it. It will put a lot of things in place, and it forms part of our philosophy, part of our way, our ethos of life, which is not ours. There's nothing new under the sun. We're not claiming to create it, but let's drop some more names, like William Reich and Royal Raymond Rife, and the greats that have gone before us that have had their technology suppressed or stolen or weaponized or given to the military industrial complex instead of to medicine and to man. First it's weaponized, then it's commercialized, and then it's drip fed to us. So we've had enough. You lot have done sterling work. We've all got transferable skills that we need your help with. If any of that has pricked your ears up, or you've got knowledge of it, or it's an interest of yours, then come and join. You know what I mean? Because the time is short, and when we go to the private, we won't be coming back in the public and interfacing as such. You recognise that we are here, coming to tell you in advance that we're disappearing soon. We've been telling this for 5 years, but it's happening, and things will change. And you have the options to do that with us. We're not leaving anybody out in the cold, but this will be done here, and successfully done here. We will then be able to outline that internationally, because our remedy, and I mentioned there are 3 possible ones, but the one that's going first will be lead claimant with a following, and if executed and successful, executed correctly, recognised and successful, and the provisions in place for our future unborn lineage, such as a sovereign act, all of this will be done privately. Once it starts, we won't be speaking of it in the public, yeah. And when it's finished, if successful, you won't be seeing us in the public. Stands to reason, and we will roll it out internationally once that's happened. All right. So we have conformed with legal, with lawful, with ecclesiastical, with United Nations, and with various what's the word, accords and edicts and proclamations. So it's in accordance with all of that. I yield. That's your update.
Yeah, and then I want to jump in, and I want to say to everybody that's watching that we would like if you could give us a thumbs up under that video, because that means a lot for us that the video is coming out, so other people they can watch it too. So thank you if you can do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to duck out, mate. So bid everyone good night. All right.
Cheers, Albert.
Onwards and upwards. Yeah. Take care.
Speak to you soon, mate.
Yeah. Bye bye.
See you, Bert. Thank you very much. Bless up. Much love to you and the fam. He's gone, hasn't he? I missed him. So
He's be back
because
to
the technology,
tomorrow.
the thing disappeared and I had to bring it back, so I heard it. Yeah.
Bless you.
Night, bro. Speak soon.
All right, mate.
So how'd you like them apples? It may have been quiet for a bit, and we may not have been interfacing publicly for a while, but the cogs in the wheels and the motion of the locomotion has been forward motion. Tuck and roll, front, centre, onward, forward. Yes, Lisa. Yes, sir. So we just got to update you that you've got some decisions to make. You choose who you follow, you choose who you support. I thank you for your time, your viewership, your support, your comments, your help, your punctuational advice, grammatical advice. we can't. This is not going to be a way of life for me. I'm sorry, but having a channel has got its options and it can be utilised. And yeah, this I was saying to the admins that the years are ticking by. Time, this is not an occupation. They're not getting paid for this as such. We're not running a business, and yeah, I believe we've got everything we need, and by looking at it and taking our time and not being greedy and rushing for a TDA account, secure party creditor, bar of gold, endless amounts of credit, and using it immaterially and incorrectly, the true wealth would be the ability to be recognised by default as they would put it, as a natural person. To be fair, you could go for living soul and try that, but they would deem it, if you was to be over in the private, as private, and that's the key word. So I would accept private citizen if it meant the end result was an equitable result with equitable relief and being recognised as default in the private, able to use private remedy such as the 1882, transfer via endorsement, appointing the Secretary of the Treasury, to use the signature to whatever they need to authorisation and put it into the correct relationships therein, and let them authorise charges to the estate, take all that away. We have a Home Office for a reason. We have a Treasury Department for a reason. We shouldn't serve them. They should be serving us. If we can appoint them, then we shall appoint them. If they can be appointed, they will be appointed. And we move these ways, if we can get negotiable security instruments from the Treasury, then great. If we can get access to a Treasury direct account and an equity fund from the capital gains made for alternative provisions, then yeah, great. But that isn't the objective. You see, you lose sight because the gold blinds us when we come from where we come from, which is humble, traditional, working class, lower working middle class backgrounds. We have a broad demographic, so when you get offered something like that, you do obviously get taken away, as nature would, with gold bars in the eyes. But there is more wealth and more value in successful estate administration, and done in a way which is encumbrant of all the laws, of all the tirages, in including ecclesia and Mosaic, Abrahamic, then this is a surefire win. And if it is denied, then we've got other options. But if there is no option to get out and call a truce to this warfare, then that's when we need the support, because then we're going to have to admit that we are occupied, and we are in modern day slavery, and we now need to address it as such and then discuss the options, because that's when shit's going to get real, I suppose. And if we have 100,000 or more behind us when we seek remedy in the first instance, that might give it a bit more sway. And if I get it, or whoever the lead claimant is, Kevin, Bert, me, gets it, then everyone behind us gets it, and it gets written into law as a provision, rather than one going through and being signed to a non-disclosure and disappearing with their profits, and then it being on an individual selfish basis in a way. When we've analysed it and we've sat down and we've discussed this and we've philosophised on it, we've meditated on it, we've stripped it, rebuilt it, chatted endlessly about this. And we've got some that are actually making inroads right now, which I can't talk about publicly. I've been to Chancery with Andy, and we got told by the Grand Master that what we have requested, that court cannot provide. So it didn't say we don't understand what you're saying, and they didn't say we think you're a crackpot, you're going with us with the many white coats. They gave an articulate, concise answer. You're at the wrong door. So we've attached a TDA account. Allegedly, we did find some accounts and we put them onto PayPal and we charged on them. So they were in our person's names, and none of us opened them, and they were containing our person's date of birth. So there is some strong evidences to what we've found. We understand monetary mechanics, bankruptcy, credits, promissory notes, transfer, endorsement, discharge. Yeah, we know about the national debt. We know about intrinsic value. We've listened to Professor Richard Werner. We've got scientists and specialists in with us in the fam, so there is no room for them, the estate, the establishment, the monarchy, the papacy, the crown, etc., yes, the council, to say no, because when it's put down concisely, logically, practically, and it encapsulates what it needs to encapsulate, it's in the correct language and it's served in accordance with their procedures, it will be a yes or no at the end of the day, and that will come from some judge in the private, in chambers, that will be a Masonic Grand Master, no less, yeah? We love it. Moo-ha-ha.
Right,
Yeah.
I'm going to
Oh,
duck out. If
yeah.
that's all right. Because I say we had a busy weekend, and the missus is due home soon. And I'm just a bit tired, as you are, Dave. So I'm going to call it a night.
All right, my man.
And we'll see everybody soon. Much love to everybody in the room, especially Lisa and James. And I'll see you all soon. Much love.
Gaylord Fokker. Sorry, I don't know where that came from. What was that?
You
Take
know.
care, Kevin.
Yeah.
Much love. Look at him. Oh, bless. Right, we'll continue on. Anders and I, we will be rolling off shortly because I know it's an hour in front for Brother Gansders. Let's look at the chat room. What's Twain saying? Last time, 8 years ago, looking older, sitting here doing great work. That's what's up, man. Makes me happy. Exactly 8 years. We were talking about this. Long time. There you go. There, testimony. Last time, man like Mark saw us, the channel, 8 years ago. When I say it's not a lifestyle. It's not an occupation. It's time to put up or shut up. Simply put. So we're about ready, Mark. You've just come back in the nick of time. You lucky bastard. Makes me happy. Protect this man at all costs. Right, I'm going to put you in blue. You can be a moderator. You seem like a fair soul, Bosh. Welcome. You're in. Everybody, let's welcome Mark to the fam. David is our resident lyrical gangster of the crew. Well, gibberish, I'm fluent in that. Lyrical assassin, yes. It's just... Yeah, jibber jabber, babble. But when
Yes, and I have to say thank you to everybody that's been putting a thumbs up here under the video, and it's 2 persons. I am one of them.
17 now. There was only 6 before. Thank you. That's appreciated. We appreciate you. The language, like I say, it's really important. The music, the sonics, the phonics, the vibration, it's insane. It really is. And I don't profess to be a scientist or understand on a granular level, but from what we've seen and the evidence is given, even music played to plants, the plants turn. Try it, experiments your own self, record it, get evidence, document it, make a thesis, a hypothesis, carry it out, repeat it, get the same result, repeat it. It's truly just excellent. What the potential that we have is unlimited. The amount of intelligence that we have collectively is just astounding. Mechanics, electricians, builders, people that can run businesses, people like me that train people to use heavy machinery, warehouse managers, logistic experts, people that are good online, webmasters, digital media. We've got everything. We need to look at seriously the options and the prospects of the groups that you trust that are established that are that have a precedent. Their reputation precedes them. Their work is done. They're a formidable force to be reckoned with, and they come with the YouTube and Facebook and Telegram and sovereign seal of approval. We should make a short list. Then we should approach them, and we should say we're going to make a network, and we're going to strengthen. We need to make our society a force to be reckoned with, and very formidable in its ability to be self-sustaining, self-governing, self-regulating within the private on our own recognised land territory. And we have to work it like this. Swapping from blue and red is not going to cut it. Having a riot is not going to cut it. Waiting for Nasara Jasara is, again, futile. So we have to be practical. We put our money where our mouth is. We've got ideas and solutions, remedies, testimonials, successes, videos, audio releases, publications, and we've given you a lot of information freely, which is part of our charitable nature. When we say charitable trust, information of which we recognise has a monetary value and could be sold in the private and profited on. Well, we're a different type of profit, and the profit that is written of within the sages of the ages profit. So again, the lyrical side of things is because of autism and dyslexia, because I really struggle to spell, and I still struggle to speak and form a clear, simple sentence. Language, words, implied meanings, spellings, grammar, syntax, and the such has just been my enemy for years. Handwriting is still terrible. So to then find the keys and the mystery behind the fogginess in my head. Wasn't me that was illiterate, that was ADHD, autistic, single parent family. All of the negative things that they told me just made me think that I was a failure. So coming into this age of life and realising we all have these thoughts, we've all been told this, it's not just me, it happens to millions of us. So to relate to you, to one to other, to I, to me, to you, to I, the I and I, Rastafari, Ra-Star I. It was the biggest surprise to me to find the codes and the meanings and the science and the madness and the macabre nature of the cursive text that we spell ourselves to cast a spell to entrance ourselves into this existence, which is existential existence. The word existential contains X is 10. The Romans, the X, the connotations that our brains can then make, whether it be tedious or random, to other areas with the works of others such as Mark Pazio, such as Santos Bonacci, such as Jordan Maxwell, such as all of the names that we've dropped within this cast so far and previously. And then we take that and then we work from that. Rodin, Vortex, Tesla, mathematics, quantum, and again, just one of them subjects is enough to bake your brain, let alone religion, law on top of it. So the words and the importance in Genesis, it does clearly say at the beginning, doesn't it, by the authorship of the author there. In the beginning there was the word, then there was etc, etc. I'm not here to recite chapter and verse, but the importance, if we are in the image of the creator, and the creator is a creator, and the creator creates with the instrument of the lips and the intent of the mind and the heart, then we are a duplicate of that. And you can clearly see with anybody that's researched cymatics, resonant frequency, manipulation, modulation, and what the power of that can do. The opera singer smashing a glass. If you're wondering what the hell cymatics is, when the opera singer will hit the correct octave, frequency, vibration level, and the glass matches, and it will then waver and shatter. That is the purpose of it. Dr. Masaru Emoto and his works of 40 years of the study of water. These are the ladders that we climb up to use, and we take, and then we use modern technology, modern language, modern arrhythmia, modern thesis, modern thoughts, independent, open-minded, non-academic, non-Smithsonian, etc. And we come up with our own remedy. And that's the beauty of what we do here. So again, We talk about legal, we talk about lawful, we talk about ecclesiastical and other such institutional authorities and instrumentation, but they're not ours. So we have to be careful how we do interface. That's why we have the person, and the person is used for that. That's the separation of. It's very simple when we sit back and look at everything, and then we come back and we have a chat like this, and we point it out. But the importance of language, legalese, the language of the New World Order, that was the biggest one. In the end days, lest you will beware, you will be deceived. Lest we forget, we will be deceived in the end times. The tongue, the devil's tongue, the forked tongue, indicative of. So again, it's not spellcasting. You can't wish yourself money. You can't wish yourself better health. Well, you can actually, because you can worry yourself sick with ill thoughts and a lower vibration. So with that said, with a healthier, higher vibration and positive thoughts, you can keep yourself healthier, and you can influence others in your family better. And you can then look to manifest the future, as Pazio and Blavatsky and Steiner and Watts and Goddard and Billy Graham and Bruce Lipton and Greg Braden have all professed. It's there. So it's important that we correct our diction. The diction for the fiction is not for us, but we're using the diction of the fiction. That's where the confusion is arising. And where the negativity, and we look at the English language and the inclusion of the Germanic, the other nation states across the ages, the Francais, the Latin, the German, the Greek, even Egypt being named Egypt, that's a Greek spelling. It's not obviously Chem, and we've got the other ancestral names from antiquities in its correct chronological order, but it's just a whole world. Needs to fix up, look sharp. Where is Dizzy Rascal? As we need him as our sovereign speaker. I yield. And Dizzy, you're still here. Oh man. Let's have a look at the chat. Tuck and roll. Bankruptcy Corp, Stephen, Bills, London, yes, Baroness Sukar. Compelled to perform as performance as a slave. Yes, voluntary slavery is illegal, everybody. Forced slavery is illegal, everybody. But voluntary slavery, that is legal and above board. They will accept that. It will be condoned by your own free will. So again, servitude, as we used to say, but apparently servitude was confusing everybody. Cusip numbers, attached notes, yeah. What we got here? Well, there's a lot. The time is now. Yes, Lisa. Yes, side. Look at you now. You're a brain of knowledge for us all. Repetition. That's it. Yeah. By helping others, you repeat. You make mistakes. You learn from them. You correct them. You go again, get back in. You guys learn as well. This seems to be a great group. Ken, by the way, having only just joined, so I am happy with it all so far. Well done, guys. If you are dyslexic, then you have other talents, as is my son. Yeah, they're not necessarily handicaps or learning difficulties or disabilities. It's just that you question authority. Perhaps, and if you're on the spectrum, you may not want to associate with others and make small talk, and because we are, let's face it, programmed by our peers, by our parents, by the educational system, by the media that we're influenced by many things. And the brain, as a 1-year-old to 7, 0 to 7, is like a sponge, and there's a lot going off. Again, you need experts for all of that, but we recognise that it's an important age, and to go through that age and be fed nonsense is not good, and it's not healthy. It's not. Doesn't get us anywhere. And if you are labelled with learning difficulties and disabilities, it's generally an advantage, as we find it later on in life. you go through, like many of us, like I've mentioned, thinking that you're less worthy, something wrong with you, not going to do well, end up in prison, a bin man, etc. McDonald's it was when I was a youth, end up in McDonald's, or even a youth training course, if not prison. So it's not nice. Children aren't nice, peers aren't nice to one another, bullying, so the young ones, the young stars, the bloods that have a disposition, a different position, that are less able in some ways to be indoctrinated, but they are more able in other ways to excel, like a savant, for instance. Yeah, bosh, there you go, solved all the world's problems 3 weeks. So it's like anything in life, you grow, you learn to live with it. It's a part of you, and it's an advantage in many ways, but socially, linguistically, spelling, it's been a hindrance all my life. As Anders has a stutter, but he comes out and speaks and braves it, puts his head above the parapet. We all have areas within our character and self and nature, yes, that we would like to improve. And
I'm not stuttering. I am just repeating myself very often.
You sound like a politician, man. That's brilliant. Kevin's still here. Kevin, I see Timmy. Jimmy. Has he left? I'll eject him. That was brilliant. That was just like a politician, Anders. A solicitor reply. Let's finish it. Let's end it then. It's 10 o'clock. We've done 2 hours. We've had a laugh. Thank you, everyone. Watch out for the updates. Get ready. Strap in. Strap on. Tune in. Cop out. All right? Cool cats. There was more.
And the chat has been brilliant also. There have been really good information. There are good discussions. So, happy about that.
Yeah, me too. It is. It's good interaction. It's respect. Be that you're all your own heroes. Sail in the sun. Happy on your voyage to discovery. All right, Stephen. We'll catch up. I'll send you a message on Telegram. We need to catch up. It's been a long time. We'll link up, Stephen. Let's have a private chat or something. Let's get together. Let's have an update. Yeah. Robert Cole, I direct you to the 82nd Psalm, and in particular, halfway through it, we are all gods, as it is written. So it says. But yes, very good sentiment there. Smile, God loves us. We love each other. We respect each other. You're awesome, Anders, says Lisa. Oh, bless. Mumucha. Bye, and may your God be with you. Ah, your God. Yes, when you speak of God, what God do you speak of? The Creator. So it's nice when you look at Lord God, these titles, split titles, Lord God, Creator. I picked that up from Indian, Cherokee, Navajo, etc. Listening to elders speaking of circle of life, Hopi, Indians, etc. Ayahuasca, narratives from Mesoamerica as well. So Creator seems to fit. Architect is a good one. Most High. But God, this is another thing that we need to iron out. What we're meaning when we say, what we say, the actual correct word in the right place. Coming from me, it's a big ask. Excellent cast. Eric, easy now. Papa, inside. Cherie, yeah, gift. Big up 100, Office of Man. Yes, even with the full colons. Much love. Bless up. Thank you. Thank you for your continued support, patience, and Anders, where are you going? What's happening here? I thought I was a speaker then. Thank you. We're ending. Thank you, Anders, once more. Thank you to all the admins. You're legends. Truly legendary, exemplary, scholarly, souls of substance and sovereignty. Suffering succotash. Couldn't think of any more. Bless up. Thank you. It's appreciated. Where are you, Anders? What's going on? You look like you're in officer mode, farm mode, car mode, mobile mode, microlight mode, sovereign jetpack mode. Talk to me. We're ending it then. I don't know what's happening. I have no clue.
I don't know if you can hear me, but I can't hear anything. My headset's battery is out and I can't get it to reconnect.
All right. Well, I can hear you. Yes, we can. And we're finishing now. So thank you, Anders. Love you, brother. Thank you, chat room. It's finished. We'll see you soon. Bosh. Big love. Let's go. Thank you. Yeah, man. Nice one, Anders. Thank you, chat room. Yes, I. See you later. Speak to you soon, Anders. Maybe tomorrow. All right. Bless up. I've got to find a job this week. Oh, no. Monday. Reality. Job. I've just got a new Nissan Qashqai 1.3 something petrol 2022. Just driven that back today. Well, travelled with that back today. I've got all that sort out. A job to find. Income. A revolution to plan. Remedy to obtain. No pressure. No pressure at all. Any help you can give, any support. I'll put the video in the video details, contact, where to find us. If you want to find that now, visit splspro.com or go to a previous video, look at the details. There's contacts in there, locations for us. We'll keep you updated, but please appreciate that we have to be careful and we have to withhold quite a lot from you in the public on these casts. But we still spill the beans. I can't resist it. We don't know how not to. We can't resist it. We love you all. Big up. Be thy own master. Know thyself. Oh, yes. What's happened here? Say goodbyes. That's why I've been on an angle all night. Just on a lean one. Lean back. Lean back. Anyway, nice one. Be your own hero. Bless up. Thank you. Chin chin.